So I read Absolute Flash, and man, I'm not disappointed. Okay, it's not that. It's only 4 issues in, so I can't give it too much fucking shit. But so far, the comic is okay, right? So much is happening, yet nothing at the same. Wally and his dad live on a military base because I guess Wally's mom passed away, and he has a strained relationship with his dad. But Barry tries to cheer him up because he's like just some scientist guy who tries to cheer him up because Barry's such a cool guy, but he lets Wally West here go ahead and look at the projects that he's been working on, which taps into the Speed Force that we find out later. Yeah, I know. Wally walks in on Barry using the machine at some point after getting into a fight with his dad. After the dad comes in and kind of like talk shit to Barry and just being a fucking asshole and telling Wally to go back home. And then I guess like the next day after they got into a fight, or I don't know. I don't remember too well because I was just scrolling and just reading as much as possible. But yeah, eventually he just goes ahead and walks in on Barry using the machine. But when trying to shut it down, it goes haywire because, of course. But it kind of doesn't, I guess. Wally sees two worlds where things play out, where he is a hero in one, and then there's one where the Speed Force in him has his mind race between different sets of time in his life and so on. And it can dabble between his mind and self from one timeline or the next. And it's kind of interesting. I will say that it's kind of interesting in that way. Barry seems to have died, but is still trying to get Wally to help him out. Force, I assume. I don't know if he will be back as Black Flash or whatever, right? But he's still out there in some way, shape, or form, right? When the story starts to center the focus on the more modern day stuff, the rogues, start hunting Wally because they need to get him because the military complex is like, holy shit, so much stuff is going on there. We got to investigate. Oh, damn, your son was there, Mr. West. That's crazy. We got to go ahead and bring him in. All right. And then I guess they tried with the rogues. We're pretty much failing. Then they got Grodd. But Grodd is not a fucking gorilla. He's a fucking monkey here with psychic abilities. And after connecting and realizing that they are very similar, they team up to escape. All right. Out by himself, and with Grodd, he finds himself getting involved with other experiments that escape, like Heatwave and others, like Firestorm. And from what I can guess, it says Wizard, so I'm thinking it's Weather Wizard. I'm pretty sure, and another surprise experiment that we don't know yet. So, who the fuck knows, right? The last issue so far that recently came out is the one with Heatwave, and Wally doesn't know how to, and Heatwave kind of like crashes out, I guess, and whatever connection the two have due to the experiments like helps Heatwave go back to being normal, and Wally West escapes again. At the same time, I guess like because Heatwave was of course part of the Rogues, or in some way, shape, or form, or just was a member. I forget. I don't know. It was Boomerang, Captain Boomerang, asking about him and saying, "Oh yeah, he died a couple months ago, but he's right here as a fucking as a fucking giant lava man." And yeah, it's gonna be a lie. It's gonna cause the Rogues to kind of break up, or some shit happening, right? Or Heatwave just completely trying to go ahead and help out Wally in some shit. Interesting for the Rogues to kind of join him in some way, but who the fuck knows, right? That's honestly where the comic ends. Just more questions than answers, and nothing really being solved. Of course, we're only at issue 4, so I can't be too mad at it. But I wish I liked it more. I think that's my issue, is that I wish I liked it more than it is right now. Honestly, it's just a lot of setup, a lot of things I'm like, I don't really give a shit about. I do think that they will have the Flash help these experiments out, especially since a lot of this project and what Wally's dad is guarding is financed by the Lazarus Corporation or Lazarus Group, the same one Superman is fighting now, where he just got shot by peacemakers and has kryptonite in his chest right now. And of course, this place, these guys are being controlled by Ra's al Ghul and Brainiac, of course. Maybe we will get Cisco and Caitlin Snow introduced, and they will help Wally with his powers as a separate group from the Omega Men who are trying to fight Lazarus. I think this can make a lot of sense. TV show, in the Flash TV show, like, Wally was a grown-ass man. I'm pretty sure, like, everyone knows that he does a lot of this shit by himself. He's super intelligent. I know he can go ahead and do all that shit by himself. But in the Flash show, they kind of had to give everybody a part, which kind of dumbed things down. I'm not going to fucking explain the Flash show. It's, like, a lot. I'm not doing that. I'm not making a video on it. I might not. Who knows? But yeah, I think it would make a lot more sense with Wally, who is trying to get used to his powers. He's young, inexperienced, and, you know, he's a fucking child. And of course, maybe Cisco being maybe like, you know, like in his 20s, and Caitlin Snow being in her 20s or whatever, right? Or just helping him out. Really interesting as well, right? Maybe they're involved with Barry in some way, maybe his assistants, maybe his colleagues in some way. I think that would be really interesting. Honestly, if they were to have like Reverse Flash being a factor in some way, which is honestly a given, he's always involved in some fucking way, right? And he's trying to push Wally into the timeline where he does not save anyone, where he becomes a monster and doesn't save Barry. But overall, the comic has a lot of potential to do a lot of fucking cool stuff. It's just that I'm just still neutral with everything. I want to like it more, but I can't, because there's nothing really grabbing me. Yet the suit looks fucking cool, by the way. But I do prefer the classic look, but maybe this one will grow on me. Maybe it's because Wally's grown into it, and maybe we'll give it his own flair. But who the fuck knows, right? As it stands, this one is not my least liked Absolute comic, but it's, you know, second to last. Like, the one I liked, like, you know, the least is Green Lantern, and you'll see in the next video, the one after this one is gonna get its own video. I promise you that. Let's think of Absolute Flash. I think it can be, you know, shaped into something really fucking cool and interesting. I just hope the direction goes in a much better way, and there's some payoff for everything they're setting up, right? But yeah, not too much of a fan of this one, but I can appreciate how the art is, how cool a lot of everything is, and, you know, I'm interested in the setup. And if you guys have any, just let me know in the comments below. Honestly, I want to drum up conversation and discussion. I really want that to take place in my comment section, just in general, even not at my comment section, just anywhere. Honestly, I just want to drum up more interest in this universe, because it's fucking cool. I gotta say, no matter what, if I don't really like the actual story, where the universe is cool, everything else is cool, I just need, you know, better stuff going on for me to enjoy. But that's a me issue, of course. But anyway, stay safe and healthy mentally, emotionally, and physically. You know, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for supporting the video and the channel and me. See you guys next time. Peace.